test your ability to integrate information from two sources, what you have read and what you have heard. And you will be asked to summarize some aspect of it. The reading passage provides context that allows you to understand what the speakers are talking about. The speakers will generally refer to the reading passage only indirectly. Therefore, as you read the reading passage, you should pay attention to a number of things. The description of the proposal, what has been proposed or planned or changed, and the reasons that are given for the proposal. This will help you understand what the two speakers are discussing as you listen to their conversation. The speaker may object to the opinion taken in the reading. Make sure you listen to the discussion to determine their relationship, what the speakers say, what you have learned from the reading and the passage. This type of question is not asking for your own opinion. Rather, it is asking for you to state the opinion of one of the speakers and to summarize the speaker's reason for having that opinion. So let's take a look at an example. In this sample, you will hear the narrator tell you that the City University is planning to increase tuition fees. Now, read the announcement about the increase from the president of City University. You will have about 45 seconds to read the announcement. Now you will hear a dialogue between two students about the increase in fees and tuition.
Oh, great. Now we have to come up with more money for next semester.
Yeah, I know, but I can see why. When I first started here, classes were so much smaller than they are now. With this many students, it's hard to get the personal attention you need.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You know, in some classes I can't even get a seat. And I couldn't take the math course I wanted to because it was already full when I signed up.
And the other thing is, well, I'm kind of worried about not being able to get a job after I graduate.
Why? I mean, you're doing really well in your classes, aren't you?
I'm doing okay, but the facilities here are so limited. There are some great new experiments in microbiology that we can't even do here. There isn't enough equipment in the laboratories, and the equipment they have is out of date. How am I going to compete for jobs with people who have practical research experience? I think the extra tuition would be a good investment.
Okay, so after you hear the audio, the question will appear on your computer screen, and it will also be read aloud by the narrator. So in this case, question 3 says, the woman expresses her opinion of the announcement by the university president. State her opinion and explain the reasons she gives for holding that opinion. So notice in this case, you have 30 seconds for your preparation time and 60 seconds for your response time. Now, here is a sample about what you could include. Remember, again, this is just brainstorming. You probably noticed that the woman agrees with the announcement and thinks that the university is right to increase its fees. But these are drawn from her own experiences as a student. So in your answer, you would probably want to connect information from the two sources. In your answer, you might say something like, she thinks that the tuition increase is necessary because the university can then hire more teachers. She feels that classes are getting too crowded and more teachers are needed. You might also want to mention that she has found it hard to get personal attention from her professors. You should also point out that she agrees that the money should be spent to improve laboratory facilities because they are out of date, and that has made it hard for her to get a practical laboratory experience. She feels that she really needs that to get a good job. You are not expected to summarize all the information in giving your response, but you should complete enough so that someone listening could understand the new policy. So in the fourth integrated question, you will read a short passage about an academic subject. Then you will listen to our professor give a brief talk on that subject. You will also be asked a question based on what you have read and heard. The passage is usually, again, 75 to 100 words in length and will give you the background or context for the lecture to follow. The topics for this question are drawn from a variety of fields: life science, social science, physical science, and the humanities. The information is academic but accessible. No matter what your specialization may be, you will be able to understand the material. Depending on the situation, you might be asked to explain a process or a principle, or you may need to explain someone's attempt to solve a problem.